Okay, we're on to adverbs or avverbi. And we're making our way up through the pyramid. Okay, so we just have a few more modules after this. So that's great. You're making awesome progress. Okay, what is an adverb? So an adverb or un avverbio is a word that describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. They're very common in Italian. Okay, so for example, we have lui corre velocemente. Okay, he runs quickly. So velocemente would be our adverb in this case, meaning quickly. And then we have lei mangia lentamente. Okay, she eats slowly. Okay, in this case, lentamente is our adverb, which means slowly. Do adverbs have to agree with the verb, adjective, or adverb that they're describing? No, adverbs do not have to agree in gender or number with the verb, adjective, or adverb that they're describing. So they're way easier to use than adjectives. Okay, so this is also one way to distinguish adverbs from adjectives. How else can you tell if a word is an adverb or an adjective? One easy way to tell if the word is an adverb is if it ends in mente, okay, like up here, velocemente, lentamente, okay, which corresponds to the ly ending in English, okay? So, for example, quickly corresponds with velocemente, velocemente, okay, she eats slowly, okay, the ly corresponds with lentamente. Okay, so these adverbs are derived from the feminine singular form of the adjective. Okay, so for example, changing an adjective to an adverb, we have rapida, okay, which is the feminine singular form of the adjective. And then we add on mente, okay, to mean rapidly. Felice, okay, we add on mente, it's felicemente to mean happily. And gentile, okay, and if you notice here, we add on mente to mean kindly, but if it ends in an le, okay, like here, or an re, you must first remove the final e before adding mente. Okay, so as you see here, we took off that e there before adding mente. Okay, that's only for adjectives that end in le or re. Okay. All right, and note there are some irregular adverbs that differ greatly from their adjective counterparts. Okay, so here's some examples. So if our adjective is buono, meaning good, the corresponding adverb would be bene, meaning well. Okay, and we'll just go down the list here. So migliore means better, but meglio means better as an adverb. And finally, il migliore, you can say to mean the best. Okay, and then over here is our adjective is cattivo, meaning bad, and our adverb is male, meaning badly. And then peggiore means worse as an adjective, but as an adverb, it would be peggio, okay, meaning worse. And then we have il peggiore, meaning the worst. Okay, and these ones with the asterisks here, they can also be used as nouns. Okay, that's why I have an article before them, okay, meaning the best or the worst. Okay. Adverbs versus adjectives. So what is the main difference between an adverb and an adjective? Well, if they're describing a noun, they're an adjective, and they change their endings to match the noun that they're describing, okay? And if they describe anything other than a noun, they're an adverb, and they do not change form, okay? So, do adverbs and adjectives always stay adverbs and adjectives? No. There are some words, such as molto, troppo, tutto, etc., that can be used as both adjectives and adverbs, depending on how they're being used in a sentence. Okay, just to confuse you a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through some examples here of when, something is used as an adverb versus when it's used as an adjective, okay, and how you can tell the difference here. Okay, so for our first example, I have ho mangiato troppo, meaning I ate too much. Okay, so troppo over here is an adverb because it's describing the verb mangiare. Okay, so troppo is describing mangiare. Okay, this is just the past tense here, ho mangiato. But if you say ho mangiato troppi dolci, I ate too many sweets, troppi is an adjective because it's describing the plural noun dolci. Okay, so instead of describing the verb, it's describing the sweets. Okay, too many sweets. So in that instance, it would be an adjective, and you have to change the ending to correspond with the noun that it's describing. Okay, let me give you another example. Okay, so la casa è molto piccola. The house is very small. Okay, so molto is an adverb in this case because it's describing the adjective piccola. Okay, so molto is describing piccola. So it does not change form to match the ending of the adjective. But if you say ci sono molta gente nella città, there are a lot of people in the city, molta is an adjective because it's describing the singular noun gente. Okay, so let's see here. So molta gente, okay, it becomes an adjective, and therefore it does change ending to correspond with gente, which is la gente would be a feminine singular noun. Okay. All right. So hopefully that is somewhat clear for you. And if not, then just go over these a few times and see if you can really notice the difference between the adjectives and the adverbs. And like I said, if not, don't worry about it. Just move on and just try and practice with it a little bit more in as you move along. And if you have any specific questions, don't be afraid to post them in the community chat. Okay. Adverb word order. Do adverbs come before or after the word they're describing? Okay, so adverb placement can be confusing. So here are some general guidelines to start with. If the adverb is describing a verb, it comes right after the verb. This is especially common with the mente adverbs. Okay, so for example, lui corre velocemente. He runs quickly. Okay, so in this case, the adverb it comes right after the verb corre. Corre, excuse me. Lei mangia lentamente. Okay, she eats slowly. So again, the adverb comes right after the verb mangiare. Lei mangia. Okay, it often comes just before the adjective or adverb it's describing. So in this case, lei è molto intelligente. She is very intelligent. It comes right before intelligente, which is the adjective that it's describing. La musica è troppo forte. The music is too loud. Okay, so in this case, it's describing forte. So it comes right before forte. Lui è sempre gentile. He is always kind. Okay, again, it comes right before gentile, always kind. And if you notice, in English, it does a lot of the same things. So here, it comes before the word is describing very intelligent, too loud, always kind. And up here, we have our verbs, runs and eats, and then it's followed by the adverb. Okay, so it's very, very similar in these cases here. Okay, if the verb is compound, meaning it has an auxiliary verb and a participle, such as in the past tense, it can either be placed before the verb and participle or after the participle. For example, lui ha mai parlato di lavoro. So he never talked about work. So in this instance, it's placed between the auxiliary verb and the participle. Okay, so here's our auxiliary verb, a, from avere, and here is our participle. Our past participle of parlare is parlato. Okay, so we put them right in the middle there. Okay, ha mai parlato. Okay, and in this instance, loro hanno cucinato bene. So they cooked well. We put it after the past participle in this sentence. Okay, so here's our auxiliary verb, hanno, from avere. Cucinato is our participle, and then we put it after. Okay, so as you can see, you can put it in the middle or after. Okay, adverbs may also be placed later in the sentence after the direct object. So, lui corre alla stazione velocemente. He runs to the station quickly. Okay, so in this case, we have it after the direct object, which would be stazione. Lei mangia la pasta lentamente. So she eats the pasta slowly. Again, la pasta would be the direct object, and then we placed it after here. Okay, lentamente. Note, if there is a non used to negate a phrase, the non stays just before the verb. Only a pronoun can come between them. For example, ci. Okay, for example, io non ci vado mai in estate. I never go there in the summer. Okay, so the adverb still goes after the verb. But as you can see here, we have a non. Okay, so io non ci, okay, like here, only the pronoun can come between them. Ci vado is our verb, mai in estate. Okay, so in this case, the adverb is after the verb. Okay, just to give you a little example there, because it can get really confusing when you start adding in other words like non, okay, and you don't know where to put them. So I just wanted to give you a little example there. Types of adverbs. Okay, so adverbs come in different shapes and sizes, but there are 4 basic types. Number 1, derivatives, also known as derived adverbs. Okay, so these are adverbs that are derived from an adjective using the feminine singular form and then adding mente to the end. For example, chiara would be our adjective, our feminine singular adjective. Chiaramente would be our adverb, meaning clearly. Okay, felice, felicemente means happily. Lenta means slow, lentamente, slowly. Okay, and then if the adjective ends in re or le, remember, you drop the final e before adding mente. Okay, so for example, generale ends in an le, so it becomes generalmente, and regolare ends in an re, so you drop the e and then add mente, so it becomes regolarmente. Okay, number 2, simple adverbs. These adverbs are only one word and do not come from any other words. For example, già means already, qui or qua means here, li or la means there, ora means now, dopo means after, and spesso means often. Okay, number 3, compound adverbs. These adverbs are formed by combining 2 or more words together to make a new word. For example, davvero comes from da and vero. They just double up the V there. And that means for real or really. And in English, it would be from and true. Okay, and from da and vero means true. Stasera comes from questa and sera, meaning this evening. Okay, this plus evening. And we have dopodomani. Okay, dopo and domani means the day after tomorrow. So after is dopo and domani is tomorrow. Okay, and then finally we have number 4, adverbial phrases. So these adverbs are small groups of words that have a new or precise meaning when used together as an adverb. For example, di solito means usually, okay, taken from the words of and usual. Ogni tanto means every so often, taken from every and so much. And all'improvviso, suddenly, taken from at plus the plus sudden. Okay, so at the sudden means suddenly. Okay, so yeah, these are just 4 different categories of adverbs so that you can kind of wrap your head around, trying to recognize what is an adverb. So hopefully this will help you out a little bit. Okay, adverb categories. How are adverbs categorized? There are countless ways to organize and categorize adverbs, but here are some basic guidelines. Okay, so when adverbs modify or describe a verb, they can describe how, when, or where the action takes place. When adverbs modify an adjective or another adverb, they tell us to what degree. Okay, so let's see. Number 1, we have adverbs of manner. These describe how something is happening. It includes most of the ly or mente adverbs. Some examples in English are well, badly, quietly, happily, gladly, and sadly. Okay, because they describe how something is happening. Number 2, adverbs of time and frequency. These describe when or how often something is happening. Okay, so when, some examples would be now, it's happening now, right away, soon, later, or after. And if you're trying to describe how often, you may say usually, always, often, never, or sometimes. Okay, number 3, we have adverbs of place. So these describe where something is happening. You could say near, far, here, there, under, or above. And finally, we have adverbs of degree. Okay, so these describe how intense or to what degree something is. For example, you may say enough, too much, too little, more, or less. Okay, so let's see how these correspond in Italian. So, what are some examples of each adverb category in Italian? So, once again, we have our adverbs of manner, or avverbi di maniera or modo. Avverbi di modo, I mean. Okay, so come stai? You may answer with sto bene, sto male, or sto meglio. So if you ask, how are you doing, rather, and you want to say, I'm doing, you could say well, okay, bene, male, badly, or meglio, better, just for some examples. Okay, adverbs of time and frequency, avverbi di tempo e frequenza. So, for example, we have ci vediamo dopo, presto, or stasera. We'll see each other afterwards, soon, or this evening. Another example, okay, so that's time, and this would be frequency. So, quanto spesso studi? You may say studio spesso, or studio sempre, studio tutto il tempo. Okay, so how often do you study? I study often, always, or all the time. Okay, adverbs of place, avverbi di luogo. You can say il mercato è vicino, lontano da, accanto a, or davanti la piazza. So the market is near, far from, next to, accanto, or in front of the plaza. And adverbs of degree, okay, avverbi di grado. Ho tanto, molto, troppo, or meno lavoro da fare oggi. So if you want to say, I have so much, a lot, too much, or less work to do today. Okay, you may want to use one of these adverbs of degree. How to use adverbs in a sentence. Okay, so we have our subject, verb, and adverb. I speak easily. You run quickly. And he writes well. Okay, in all of these cases, we have our adverb describing the verb. Okay, so it comes right after the verb. And same thing in Italian. Okay, so we have our soggetto, our verbo, and our avverbo. Io parlo facilmente. Okay, I speak easily. Tu corri velocemente. Okay, you run quickly. And lui scrive bene. Okay, so he writes well. Okay, as you can see, these are placed in the exact same spot in English and in Italian. Now, first 60 adverbs to learn. Okay, so I'm going to say them twice, repeat after me each time, and you can practice your pronunciation, okay? Okay. Abbastanza. Abbastanza, meaning enough. Adesso. Adesso, right now. Affatto. Affatto, at all. Altrimenti. Altrimenti, meaning otherwise. Anche. Anche, also or even. Ancora. Ancora, meaning still or again. Bene or benissimo. Bene or benissimo, meaning well or very well. Certo. Certo, meaning of course. Chiaramente. Chiaramente, clearly. Così. Così, meaning so. Dentro. Dentro is inside. Di solito. Di solito is usually. Dietro. Dietro is behind. Dopo. Dopo, after. Dopodomani. Dopodomani, the day after tomorrow. Fa. Fa means ago. Forse. Forse means maybe or perhaps. Fuori. Fuori means outside. Già. Già means already. Ieri. Ieri, yesterday. Infatti. Infatti means in fact. Insieme. Insieme means together. Invece. Invece means instead. Li or la Li or la both mean there. Lontano. Lontano means far. Mai. Mai means never or ever. Male. Male means badly. Meglio. Meglio means better. Meno. Meno means less. And molto. Molto means a lot. Okay, we're up here. So naturalmente. Naturalmente. Naturally. Non. Non means not. Non ancora. Non ancora means not yet. Normalmente. Normalmente. Normally. Oggi. Oggi means today. Ora. Ora means now. Ovviamente. Ovviamente. Obviously. Peggio. Peggio means worse. Perfettamente. Perfettamente means perfectly. Piano. Piano. Softly or quietly. Più. Più is more. Poco. Poco is little. Poi. Poi is then. Presto. Presto. Soon. Prima. Prima. Before. Quasi. Quasi means almost. Qui or qua. Qui or qua means here. Sempre. Sempre. Always. Sopra. Sopra. Above. Spesso. Spesso is often. Stamattina. Stamattina means this morning. Stanotte. Stanotte is tonight. Subito. Subito. Right away. Tanto. Tanto is very. Tardi. Tardi is late. Troppo. Troppo means too. Tutto. Tutto. All. Via. Via means away, or it may also mean like street, if you see it on a street sign. Okay, via di something. Vicino. Vicino means near. And volentieri. Volentieri means gladly or voluntarily. Okay, so there you have it, your first 60 adverbs to learn. Okay, so remember, these don't change unless they're being used as adjectives. Okay, so just go ahead and memorize all of these. Okay, we are on to quiz number 7, module 2.6, adverbs. There's 5 questions, so I'll go ahead and read each question aloud and each of the possible answers before giving you the correct answer. And I'll pause for a moment, but if you need more time, just go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's get started. Number 1, vero o falso, true or false. An adverb does not agree in gender or number with the verb, adjective, or other adverb it's describing. Choose only one best answer. A, vero, or B, falso. Okay, this one was true. Adverbs do not agree with the verb, adjective, or other adverbs they are describing, meaning their endings don't need to change accordingly. On the contrary, adjectives must agree with the noun they're describing. This is one way to tell them apart. In this sense, adverbs are easier to use correctly. Number 2. Which is the correct way to form an adverb out of the adjective vero? Choose only one best answer. Okay, so A, veramente, B, veramente, C, veremente, D, verimente, or E, vermente. Okay, so the correct answer was B, veramente. To form a derivative adverb, the adjective must first be changed to the feminine singular form. In this case, vero becomes vera before adding mente to the ending. So it would become veramente. If the feminine singular adjective ends in an a, like in veloce, then mente is added after the a, becoming velocemente. If the feminine singular adjective ends in a le, like in speciale, or re, like in regolare, then you must remove the final e before adding mente to the end. So in this case, it would become specialmente and regolarmente. Number 3, which of the following is not an adverb? Choose all answers that apply. A, adesso, meaning right now. B, presto, meaning soon. C, fantastico, meaning fantastic. D, anche, meaning also or even. Or E, buono, meaning good. Okay, so in this case, C and E were the correct answers. Fantastico and buono are both adjectives. However, there are some words, such as molto, troppo, tutto, etc., that can be used as both adjectives and adverbs. If they're describing a noun, they change their endings to match the noun they're describing. If they describe anything else, they're an adverb and do not change form. For example, ho mangiato troppo would be an adverb because it's describing a verb, meaning I ate too much. Ho mangiato troppi dolci would be an adjective because it's describing the plural noun I dolci. I ate too many sweets. La casa è molto piccola would be an adverb because it's describing an adjective. The house is very small. And ci sono molta gente nella città would be an adjective because it's describing the singular noun la gente, meaning there are a lot of people in the city. Okay, number 4. Which of the following are types of adverbs? Choose all answers that apply. A, adverbs of manner, avverbi di maniera o modo. B, adverbs of time and frequency, Avverbi di tempo e frequenza. C. Adverbs of place. Avverbi di luogo. Or D. Adverbs of degree. Avverbi di grado. Okay, in this case, they were all correct. All of these are types of adverbs. Remember, when adverbs modify or describe a verb, they can describe how, when, or where the action takes place. When adverbs modify an adjective or another adverb, they tell us to what degree. And number 5, all of the following are which type of adverb? Chiaramente, meaning clearly, felicemente, meaning happily, and lentamente, meaning slowly. Choose only one best answer. A. Simple adverbs. B. Compound adverbs. C. Adverbial phrases. Or D. Derivatives or derived adverbs. Okay, so chiaramente, felicemente, and lentamente are all considered to be derivatives. The 4 types of adverbs are as follows. Derivatives, or derived adverbs. These are adverbs that are derived from an adjective, using the feminine singular form, and then adding mente to the end. If the adjective ends in re or le, you drop the final e before adding mente. So, for example, chiara becomes chiaramente, meaning clearly. Simple adverbs. These adverbs are only one word and do not come from any other words. For example, già, forse, qui, and qua. Compound adverbs. These adverbs are formed by combining 2 or more words together to make a new word. For example, davvero, from da and vero, meaning for real or really, which are come from the combination of from and true. And adverbial phrases. These adverbs are small groups of words that have a new or precise meaning when used together as an adverb. For example, ogni tanto means every so often, which is formed from the words every and so much. All right, how did you do? So I will just go over each of these here, and you can read over the answers again if you'd like, or pause the video and read over them. And if not, you can just proceed to the next module or quiz. All right, great job.